So, I toasted the tops of the sourdough
Hey, pretty
Red
cool.
Bulls so you can eat
Yeah,
that,
you
'cause
did like toast.
yeah, we're out of bread right now.
Pretty original.
Besides these sourdough bowls. So we're having soup, nothing fancy. Cream of mushroom.
That's
which
fancy.
reminds me of my grandma because I was
Reminds
a
me of
very
my
picky
mom.
little child and I
Me
wouldn't
too.
eat anything else.
Well, I do tomato
Almost.
soup. Campbell's it had to be for you, right?
Had to
Same
be.
thing with me.
And there's no way I would have eaten tomato. So you were less picky than me.
Yeah, that's amazing.
But anyway, I shouldn't have this because I shouldn't have dairy. And well, nobody needs MSG in their diet.
Though. Where are the bare naked ladies?
Good. I think that's their.
The way they said, Stephen Page, it must have been.
And
That
I'm
was awesome.
having decaf vanilla chai, Stash.
Stash brand.
Yeah, for dessert, I guess.
Does it make you feel edgy using Stash brand?
No.
Way back when it would have been an edgy title, but.
Really?
Oh, I think so. Yeah. But
okay.
Nowadays.
Well, that tea is gross.
Who cares? Yeah.
It doesn't taste like chai. It tastes kind of like you know how when you well, this is for my friend Taya if she ever sees this. She had this eraser that she loved because it reminded her, the smell reminded her of I think it was new Barbie hair or something like that. And so it was funny. So it makes, when I taste this, I think of that. I think of, some sort of artificial scent that they put in kids' toys or something, right? So it doesn't taste very good. And but it was given to me and I'm thankful and all that. So we're going to talk about this Dog Training 101, which is
working out for you. The Chihuahuas are like
we'll see. So far I have some mixed results.
Yeah.
No, she does a great job. This is Jean Donaldson.
But she's kind of cheating.
What? She's using very easy to train breeds.
Like
for
German
the show.
Shepherds are
But
trained.
I know that she could do it with everybody. It's just, who wants to watch a Chihuahua or a Basset Hound going through
3 weeks to get one
trick right? Because
Chihuahuas do learn. They're not stupid. They are just
they are constantly trying to train you. They do
true.
not want to be
Same thing with
trained.
Basset Hounds.
Yeah.
Especially the small variety that have been mixed with Beagles, I think, to keep them small.
Often, people have said to me, Basset Hounds are so stupid, and I'm like, what are you talking about? Not at all. They just don't want to be trained.
They follow their noses. They don't follow orders.
No. And Chihuahuas, they think they already, if we ask Paris, some people believe, like her, that dogs don't understand English. A lot of people believe that they don't understand.
And yes, she's using English commands with them.
Commands.
I don't know. They actually understand relatively simple sentences.
Yeah.
Like if you read Plato or Hegel out loud to them, Schopenhauer, I think they'd have a little trouble with that.
If there's some things involved, like training, you definitely need to train a dog, because when there's some sort of distractions,
default.
like say, there's so many things they could get into trouble with. So you just got to do it. And we used to be a lot better about it with our Basset Hounds, honestly. And then we got into Chihuahuas, and they're a whole different ballpark. It's very different.
And people raise them because they're small. Yeah. They raise them pad training. Is that the term used?
Yeah. Well, we got into.
When you get a Chihuahua into a pattern like that,
second-hand
dogs.
Chihuahua's a rescue sort of circuit, and it's very different too. But I mean, we had when we had Copper, I didn't get him until he was an old man, and we were still teaching him new tricks.
He's still learning new tricks.
He's still learning them.
He's the only dog that I've run across where it took a little while. You'd overthrow. You'd try to get him to catch something, because it was amazing when he actually caught the stuff. You'd hear, he had the big jaws and stuff like that. And he was pretty good for an old geezer catching stuff in his mouth. until his back got hurt. And he's still doing it. But if you overshot the mark, it'd be behind him and be kind of frustrating because you'd be going, where did it go, right? He didn't know exactly.
He didn't know where it
So
went.
eventually I just say, behind ya! And it took, what, less than a month. A couple of weeks, I think.
And he'd look
just
right
go,
away. He'd
yeah,
just go look right behind him.
behind you. But the other dogs we've had, including the other Basset Hound, they didn't pick up on that.
No, but Tornado learned left and right.
Tornado was pretty good at for some things like that. Yeah, he was very good. Left, no,
So, and he'd look.
He'd look left, but he wouldn't necessarily go left. But.
No, but when I'd say left, he'd look. And anyway.
And he'd say, yeah.
And I'd try to explain to him when we get to where the sidewalk ends, you got to stop and you got to look left and right because you don't know if there's a car coming, whatever. And he understood English pretty well. He'd look.
Yeah.
He was like, I can do what I feel like. But he was very strong-willed.
Yeah, so he'd have been a Basset Hound mixed with Beagle and probably a little bit of Dachshund or something like that. A dash of Dachshund.
Something to get him smaller, right?
Get him smaller, and it just made him nuts. So
yeah, but it's very handsome.
Yeah, I can remember
bred
walking him out on 4th Avenue there. I'm just an old geezer. And it had been a long time since I'd heard something like that. There were 2 women following me, and he had a little pointed tail. But all of a sudden I'm hearing, so the women are behind me, nice tail! And I'm going, thank you. No, it was for the dog.
He was a handsome little sucker. But yeah, I've had some mixed results with this so far. I've just started applying it. I have to return it before the library opens tomorrow morning. So I'm still working through it, and
it's a lot of work, isn't it?
It is. Like with Elvis, he is very excitable. And with the dogs inside the house, if everything's calm, we can communicate with them verbally. They understand completely.
Especially when we use 4-letter words.
No.
No, we don't. We don't. Rarely.
But they don't necessarily want to listen.
No.
But they do understand. And then if there's some sort of, like, if I get them on the deck, well, they're way too excited. They will not listen. They will not hear. They can't. They're too excited.
They just start wilding.
Yeah.
They start following the noses.
And so I need to get them into enough training so that they will actually hear what I'm trying to, like a command, so that they just settle down, because it's there's some times when that is required. And Elvis is very excitable, but he's a very loving little boy, and he really wants to learn. He wants to be a good boy. And so there's some things, like he picked up on the lay down, the down command really well. I mean, they already all know.
You're saying that became his default.
But then it became the default. So
which
then
is pretty good, because it's the most passive of them all.
I guess. So that's what he's thinking. This trumps everything. And I'm just going to do this, and then I'll get a treat. And I'm like, oh dear. So then I'm having to try to
undo that. Yeah, that's.
But anyway, so there's a lot of great information in this, and everybody who has a dog should be borrowing this from their local public library. I had to put it on hold through TAL, but wow, well worth it. So
did this come from the LPL, or did it come from elsewhere?
No, it came from, I don't know if
the TAL is the
Marigold
Alberta
Library System.
I don't even know.
Library.
Rockford?
Yeah.
Wow.
Don't
I never
know
even
where.
heard. Rockford, Illinois.
No,
I didn't know that was in Alberta.
I think it's in Alberta. I think it's because I got it through TAL.
Most of the places, like you mentioned,
not always the case. Sometimes I get things from the United States. Sometimes my library actually pulls things in from the United States through TAL. So it is possible. But anyway, I'm going to also talk about this Patrick Melrose DVD. It's a kind of mini-series. Let's see, how many minutes was it? I can't find it on there, but 302 minutes.
Well, that's quite.
I don't know why I couldn't find it. I'm just tired.
The other one we watched was like 8-9 hours, the 500 hours.
Oh.
Right? Remember? Anyway, that was just.
But
marathon
I
viewing.
Actually watched quite a bit of this one, without reading too much. and it was worth watching. It's about child abuse and stuff like that, and it's really well done. The imagery with the pillows, awesome. And everybody should watch that. The acting's good. Everything was well done about it. I was pretty impressed. So, yeah. I guess I don't really have anything else to talk about. Oh, I was going to mention something else about that. What was it? She was saying that we were like, oh, that's not true. She was talking about how male dogs don't have anything to do with child rearing.
Well, Tank would look after his kids.
And that I thought was true also, until I observed.
He'd play with them.
And now I realize they say it takes a village to raise a child, and it takes a pack to raise a bunch of pups. And because we'll see even dogs that aren't related at all really good about playing with the puppies, or
sure, exactly,
you know, once
like
they get once they get to be a certain age, the mom's protective at first, you know, but then
and then she gets burned out.
And she's really appreciative of the extra help.
Take the stone out of my shoe.
Exactly.
Please.
Yeah. And with the father dog, he does play a role.
Well, he did play.
Yeah.
And he wasn't a playing kind of dog.
Nope.
But he'd start playing
more
with the
than that,
pups.
when the mother dog had her little puppies, we'd have them in one room, and the father dog would sit right by the door of the room and guard it.
Which is hilarious.
Yeah.
He weighed
Because
5.5 pounds, and how much did she weigh? 10?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
10 pounds plus.
But he was a nippy little sucker.
Oh, he
so
was.
Yeah.
He'd latch on and give you blood blisters. It's rarely would he break the skin.
Yeah. But
he was a mean little guy. It's like he wasn't a pit bull.
Yeah.
He would have killed.
Oh, yeah. He'd bite you, pick your hand up, he's going with it.
Mm-hmm. It's like you'd caught a fish on a line.
Yep. It was unpleasant. But Chihuahuas, right?
That's right. And he was mixed with Dachshund.
Demon? I'm not sure.
Dachshund and Demon.
Yeah.
And Lord knows what all else.